get talking to some normal people and see what their thoughts and their opinions were. Now, I've got a guest on the show. This is Hello Pig. She's been on the Daily Brexit a few times. She's got some, quite harsh opinions about what things that have been happening over here in the UK, and probably some great opinions on what's happening over in the United States as well. So,
hiya, darling. How are you?
I'm doing all right. As best as I possibly can. With all of the...
With our little actress, your new little Duchess now.
Oh, don't get me started on Meghan Markle thing.
You can keep her. It's all right. She's a free gift.
Yeah. I think we'd have to I think you'd have to pay for us to take her away, to be honest with you. It's like frigging garbage. But I see the Meghan Markle affair as promoting the clergy plan, promoting all of this mixed racing. And I see on adverts all of the time here, especially in the UK, especially on Channel 4. Every single advert is a mixed race couple. Or
what got me was a lot of people here in America, they were talking, oh, did you see the wedding? Oh, it was so lovely, and blah, blah, blah. Traditional. And then I looked at them and I said, it was far from traditional. It wasn't. It was at Windsor. It wasn't at St. Paul's, because Harry was a lesser prince and she's a divorcee.
Yeah.
The Vatican, the Archdiocese doesn't allow divorcees to be married in their churches.
Exactly.
And, also, it was so ghetto.
Oh, it was, wannabe celebrities, even frigging Oprah Winfrey were there, for crying out loud. And we all know her frigging history. A procurer of talent for Hollywood, wasn't she? Or for Weinstein, especially.
All Hollywood. It was all buying a ticket and let's go and show off our bums. That was all it was.
Well, yeah, it was a show, a distraction.
Like, Meghan idolizes Princess Di and wants to be like Princess Di. Well, you'll never be like Princess Di, you twat.
Yeah, because I don't think she's got the stones that Princess Di had to actually confront the royal family and confront the royal house. And
she's fake.
Yes, she's a fake.
Princess Diana had class.
And, well, we were having this discussion. We were having this.
That she said was true and heartfelt. When Meghan speaks, I can't help but think it's a speech.
Well, I've had this discussion with another friend of mine that, well, Meghan Markle, as she was growing up, she disappeared from her best friend for quite some time and then returned to her best friend, a completely different person that was obsessed with the royal family, obsessed with Prince Harry. Prince Harry. She was obsessed with becoming a royal. So we were debating whether she'd been actually MK Ultra'd and her mind had been twisted and she'd been forced down this path.
But what's interesting, though, is she is... When I watched videos of her when she was younger, and she was an outspoken, I want to say egotistical, but self-righteous young lady.
Yeah,
like a feminist as a child, but there's a fine line of being pro-woman and I'm going to rip your testicles off because you're a man.
Yeah. A feminazi.
Closer to ripping testicles off.
You're bringing tears to my eyes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's almost like she's, women can do anything and everything. We don't need you. Well, go and have your own baby then.
We've learned this now, to be very, very wary of those who signal virtue. Because those who signal virtue have very little virtue themselves. They are actors. They don't care about the little man. They only care for themselves and how they look and how they're perceived, their image. And that's why they virtue signal so rampantly, these social justice warriors.
Oh.
But
Jesus, God, can I just ask a question? Sorry to interject. Is this just an informal chat, or are we live on air or something?
we're live on air. We are live on air.
Blind. Oh, right, okay. What is this? This is Hive Mind, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the Hive Mind, where many different minds come together to discuss.
Except mine, I haven't got one.
Well, no comment.
Meghan Markle and Prince Harry.
To be honest,
he's not a real. He might be Diana's son, but he wasn't Charles.
So he has no.
We all know that.
So he has no actual royal blood in him. And to be honest with you, the royal family aren't the freaking royal family. The Saxburg, freaking Coburg, whatever they're called. They're not freaking Windsors. Yeah. Usurpers. People that have no right and no claim to the English or British throne. And
I should be of England. There's no doubt about it.
Well, you know, you can identify as whatever you want nowadays. You could identify as a frog if you wanted. So I identify as the King of England. Thank you very much.
I identify as a cactus because I'm a prick.
It doesn't sound right. It hasn't got a very good ring to it. King Predator Jeff. Nah, it doesn't sound right.
King David has a certain ring to it, does it not? King David the Honest. King David the Honest.
I don't know. David's a bit Jewish, though, isn't it?
Well, a lot of names have a Jewish bearing to them. You know, we're a Judo-Christian culture. That's where our frigging...
No. Who said we were a Judeo-Christian nation? Who said that?
Well, that's what we are, is it not? We've come a little...
No, yes, what you keep hearing, that we're a Judeo-Christian nation, but we're not. We're a pagan Christian nation. Judeo, but we chucked the Jews out in 1290. They've been in and out like a fiddler's elbow ever since, but
Christianity is based on Judaism.
Who owns the United Kingdom? Who owns the Bank of England? Who owns it? Would that be a Jew? Would it be a Jew that owns the United Kingdom? Because I think it might be.
That's a bunch of
history long enough. Prince John, I believe it was John, who signed the Magna Carta, correct? He gave the original to the Vatican, the Pope. The Pope kept it as a kind of like a memento. John basically gave the UK, England, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland to the Vatican, signing the Magna Carta. So when the guys, the barons said either your brains or your signature are going to be on the Magna Carta, he willingly signed it because he already knew he did not control it.
But the only reason that Jews have got any whatever in England is because they're a bunch of infiltrators. I mean, Jesus, he wasn't a Jew; he was English.
The thing is, the Illuminati have clouded.
English.
Where
Never been to England.
The Illuminati have clouded history so much.
England is the promised land, not bloody Israel. You got it all wrong.
You see,
this is the promised land.
Great sense of humour, mate. He's more African descent, Egyptian than anything else. But yeah, because 2,000 years ago, mate, back in England, people here were still in caves.
We weren't still in caves. We had Mott and Bailey's. We had Stone Age primitive culture. You know, we weren't cave people. We had buildings.
The real reason why we have the Jewish banking system, because similar to Islam, Christianity actually saw it as a sin to make money out of money.
Yes, usury. Usury is a sin.
And yeah, and what we actually did is we allowed the Jewish people to run the banking system. Therefore, we weren't committing the sin because it wasn't a part of their culture, even if it is similar.
Yeah.
Well, back in a second, anyway, guys.
What actually happened? What actually happened is the banking system was owed that much money by the land gentry and the kings and the establishment. We thought it was easier to kick them out. Well, in the 1600s, to allow the Jewish people back into this country, and Cromwell wasn't a nice man, was he?
No, but he needed the money.
The reason why he let the Jewish people back in here is because they wanted them to run the banking system, to make his wars. He wanted the money for the wars, the Christian Crusades, and everything else he did. Wasn't a nice man, and they stayed after that. So I just had to correct you a little bit, but I'm sorry. But hi, everyone.
All right. Well, from what I say and what I understand, the Illuminati have clouded history, and especially religious history, so much we, the common man, don't really have a clue about religion and what truly is, because it's been such a perpetuated lie for the elite's favour. We're all screwed about it. We don't have a clue. So,
speaking of the Illuminati, originally it was we all know it means enlightened, the light ones, you know, and seekers of light, whatever you want to call it.
The keeper of secrets.
It started out being more scientific than religious, because they were a secular from religion, but during that time you could not find everything was created by God, and you know you couldn't go and say, well, where did the biology of the plant, you know, you couldn't find out that, oh, God made that. Well, they wanted to know more about it. They wanted to know the microbiotics of this and that. They wanted to know all the little tiny bits, and they were educated scientific people. As time went on, the Illuminati got more and more powerful, wanting more and more knowledge, getting more and more sinister in their ways, and they've become what we know now. But originally, it was just like the English language. The English language, a hidden coded language for the time of scientists, because everything was in Latin or the German or a Latin-based language, because that's what the church wanted. That's what the church spoke. So if you wanted to talk about science or anything heresy like, you would talk in English. You know, the general population wouldn't know. The church wouldn't know. I mean, it's like you and me. If we were going to talk in code, we could talk in Pig Latin or a language only you and I could know. You know, and that's how the English language was. That's the same system, same ideology that the Illuminati started, and then it just, as far as Illuminati, it got a little twisted. I'm not going to say, of course, I'm being a little sarcastic about the little part, but you know.
Very good point. You got a very good point there, because English is made up of 4 languages altogether, and it's the most complex language to learn because you have a word virtually for everything instead of one. And because of that, they can manipulate it more with legalese.
Yes.
So you're absolutely spot on, Loopy.
Yeah, and it was used as a tool. The English language was used as a tool against the common man. So yes, we all speak it, we all understand it.
With the courts, you know, when you read your Miranda rights, you know, even though they're inalienable rights and they can't be transferred or given to anybody, you are basically, when they say, do you have the right to remain silent, blah, 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 do you understand these rights? And you say yes, well, you're transferring your rights to those
officers,
to the court, to the crown.
That goes to understand me. That goes to understand me.
You
so
stand
you understand him or her.
You're basically saying, I'm your slave. You are bend over now.
Hello.
Hello, Adalina.
Long
Nope.
time.
There we are. We're having a bit of a round table. We are live.
I think your mic's a bit dodgy, mate. Give it a twist.
No. Better.
Keep on going.
What? Yeah, hello.
Yep, that sounds.
Test. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, sounds loud and clear.
Been a busy week, a busy month. Sorry, I've moved house, so it's I've not had a chance to get back on this chat.
Yep.
I'll be back with you in a minute. I'm just making an egg and bacon butty.
Yeah, you never know how much stuff you've got until you try to move it. Yeah. But anyways,
so how is everyone?
Yeah, we're all fine and well. We're all a bit.
I've been watching your daily chats, but I've not managed to. I've only just managed to find my microphone from the moving box. So.
Okay, so you're actually live here. We're actually running live as well.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're on YouTube.
I'd say
I did say Ollie. Well, super chats. He could make a lot of money doing that. Why doesn't he do it? Maybe do you have to have a minimum subscriber limit or something?
I don't
have a super chat.
I don't have a clue. I don't know what it means. What is a supercharger?
Oh, it's the baggery. Let's check it then. I need to check it.
Oh, and Davey, darling, I want to tell you.
Is that better? It's marvelous. Tally ho.
Really, you're still about like you're like a.
I'm still what?
Well, Lopi, you break up quite a bit as well.
Up and down.
But anyways,
sometimes it's worth refreshing.
Anyways,
the screen. Refresh the screen and see if you come in better.
You mean leave and then come back?
Well, if you press the refresh, top left corner.
Depends
on your main toolbar. Just refresh the screen as you would do normally, and you'll come back in.
Dave, I want to tell you, one,
how do you refresh the screen?
Your is quite nice.
You'll do normally on a page, top left.
Well, like an F5. Oh,
look, do they go back page or?
Oh, you got Discord.
Go click the curly thing, and it'll refresh it.
Yeah, if you've got the Discord client app on the laptop, it doesn't work like that. So
I'm not on it. See, I'm on Discord. There's no F5 on it. It's an application, isn't it?
Yeah, don't worry about it. You sound all right. You're coming through loud and clear. A bit crackly a little bit.
You got the link on the Axiom Cube. Let's look. Come on. Oh, no, it's just...
I'm back, folks, you lucky devils.
I think it's because we were over talking each other. I think the problem is because we're over talking each other.
It's all bacon and egg butties.
Shut up! Shut up!
I'm lost. We're
trying to, but yeah.
Let's have some mustard. Come on, let's talk politics. Let's talk about what's going on.
Yeah.
Let Dave have his chant. It's his show and we're live, so be careful. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to say it's been quite a busy, hectic weekend, especially with all of the.
Post that video. But nobody watched. I mean, yesterday, but nobody watched it, and it was basically saying that divide a state. So if the a new country comes new laws, so it's very dangerous. No, it's not. We're not leaving the EU. We're separate. We're dividing into a new country, and because we're already part of the EU, and therefore we're all one as part of the state, aren't we? We're all separated into states and not countries. That makes sense.
We're a member state of the EU.
It's to do with the treaty. It's to do with the treaty. If you look at the capital T and
maybe we need to give ourselves a new name other than England then.
Capital letters.
your view.
America, in all honesty, in retrospect, is kind of what
it's easier if you just watch the video that opposes.
Yeah, I understand it though. I understand exactly where you're coming from because we are a member state of the EU. We've joined their conglomerate. Now, for us to leave, we can't leave as we once were. We have to become something new, and it moves forward from there.
Exactly. With you comes they have to make opportunities them up and not use any laws. You know, it could change anything.
Well, with the
Magna Carta wouldn't even apply.
That's it. I think it's part of the Article 50 or part of the bill that's been put into Parliament as well. That's actually adopting all of the EU laws and still ratifying all of the treaties that have been signed. It's a very dodgy predicament for the United Kingdom.
It's a very dangerous move. It's that kind of power. It's crazy.
And well, the EU has had a penchant for destroying Britain. They love it. They want it. The EU would love to see nothing more.
With no accountability.
Yeah.
So basically, we're leaving one EU to join another.
Well, that's the way they want the new customs partnership or the new customs.
The customs union. Exactly. Corbyn was right when he said you're going to turn it into a tax haven, bargain basement tax havens, right?
It's a possibility.
That's what you're going to do. Switzerland or something.
That's why
Ireland.
That's why we patriots need to get back control of this country.
Downloader. It take a little bit more time talking with each other because you're ricocheting while you're both over talking each other. Okay.
Well, anyways, so back over to the
early interesting, Mr. Bond.
Back over to the State of the United Kingdom PLC. Well, it's not a PLC anymore, is it? It's not publicly liable. It's just a conglomerate company.
It's a corporation now.
Yeah, it's
corporate.
Yeah,
Inc. Maybe.
Inc. Yeah, we'll call it Inc. UK Inc.
It's a liability.
And how on earth are we going to be able to sort this mess out? Because we've got the people in power now.
Honestly, I can't. The only thing I can see, and I don't even know if it's a move, but it's the Tories are definitely planning to have a re-election because they can't do anything without it.
Well,
so, like I said, we're looking for maybe July, August.
I believe a snap election is on the cards before the new parties have chance to gain some traction and gain some actual publicity. They're going to launch a new, the last general election, I believe.
Yeah, well, if they win, it's 2023 with them still.
Yep.
I think.
You know who they reckon Prime Minister, don't you? Sajid Javid. We're going to have our first Muslim Prime Minister in this country.
What, Sajid Javid isn't?
That's what I've heard. I've heard that several times.
Well,
it looks like they've touted Sajid Javid to be the next Prime Minister of England.
Well, with the Dragon's ultimatum that they put in for the 23rd, either Theresa May get us out of Europe now or leave. I think that Sajid Javid has been put in that place as a sort of FU to us to say, well, if we do get rid of Theresa May, you're going to have a Muslim Prime Minister instead. Have that kick.
You could be.
It's in their interest to do
right. Yeah, Mark was number one, wasn't he? But now he's not because, the abortion thing, that's a big thing because what happened in Ireland just now. He's completely against abortion.
Good. You've seen what's happened with Planned Parenthood in the United States. where they're taking the fetal tissue and selling it on the marketplace, and encouraging people to go and get abortions, and state funding.
I guess that's what Soros has done. I guess that's what Soros was. With society to try and maybe the selling of fetal tissue in Ireland.
Oh yeah,
that's all I can see, because Soros had a society up there, an NGO. That's why it got overturned. Fucking Soros! Oh, he's so.
Oh yeah.
He's so wasted time.
You can tell he's one of the ones that has a nice drink of adrenochrome to keep him going.
And then you got son. That's so he's so.
Oh,
carry on.
He's a little spawn of Satan as well. The little
in or anything, but I don't think it's taught that we actually rose up against these sons of beep and just wipe the floor with them. Revolution style, hardcore, blitzkrieg style, like the good old Anglo-Saxon would.
Well, I think from the last, since brainwashing, I don't think people will be able to cope with that. We could, because we know the truth. We could actually see the light, but other people, they're too reliant on the system.
Yeah. You see, I went out this weekend, had a few beverages, and was talking to an entire pub all about politics. I brought a political game to the entire pub, and the whole pub was cheering me on and thinking my politics were great. But then I moved into the Tommy Robinson incident, and the brainwashing was so strong that it come from the media. As soon as I mentioned Tommy Robinson, they were going, racist, whoa, you're a racist, whoa. I'm like, oh my God. And then bang, on the back foot.
Right, listen, because essentially, right, if you're anti-racist, you're anti-white. So if you're racist, you must be white. So wear your racist badge with pride and say, yes, I'm a racist, I'm fiercely proud of it, and I'm damn glad I'm not one of these left-wing, silly anti-racists. They're so ashamed of the colour of their own bloody skin.
No, the point I was trying to make...
Since when do people think things through these days? They just spout fucking stereotypes.
Yeah, that was the point I was trying to make. The point that I was trying to make is they are so deeply ingrained and brainwashed, they instantly jump to a conclusion. They don't listen to your argument. They don't listen to facts or evidence. They instantly jump to a conclusion and condemn you upon it. So if we started to make these moves, and these are normal people in the pub, and they were agreeing with my political stance and agreeing with the Constitution and the way we should go forward. But to snap like that and to turn against you over one poxy issue, well, it's a big issue, but...
Well, you see, darling, there's a lot
an issue
with society today. People do not listen to comprehend anymore. People listen to hear you stop so they can retort, because they're not listening. That's the problem. People don't listen properly anymore. They wait for you to pause, and then they go and jump on the first thing they heard, or first thing that they think is important or they didn't like. Like say, you're talking politics and all that, and all I can say is, oh, Yankees suck. You need to change your hat. You're racist because you don't like the Red Sox. You know, you like the Yankees.
No,
it doesn't matter. You know, oh, you're right. That's all. It doesn't matter what you were talking about, but that's the first thing that I saw. So that's what I'm going to retort. People, that's the way people are. They conversate now, and unfortunately, it shows a lack of intelligence, a lack of compassion, and a lack of respect. Because at the same time, they're demanding respect for them. They're not giving it to anyone else. It's a typical life, you know.
Respect. Oh, I didn't hear a word you said. Sorry, Lopi. Just fucking with you, darling.
The problem is, it's our generation and the next and this generation most brainwashed into thinking that racism is a bad thing. It's not even a thing. It's just a thing that's been created by division.
Yeah.
And we always get reminded. I get constantly Jews and World War II in Israel and Palestine. But you shouldn't be saying that because that means you hate Jews. I don't hate Jews. I just don't think they should kill people carrying sticks and stones. The bullets. Is that wrong?
So down.
Well, I come from the totally separate. I come from the complete opposite side. I think they should be killing those people because they're storming the border.
Did everyone get that?
Judaism, but that's my logic.
We're over talking.
I'll slow down.
We're over talking each other.
Guys, we have got to think. We've got to remember. My housekeeper, auntie, he explained Islam to me to a T. It is not a religion of peace. It is a religion of fear.
It's a political ideology of fear, more accurately.
Yes, let me finish, please. Shut up.
You bollocks.
Religion of fear. You do what they say, the imams say, or you die. You do what your husband says, or you get beat. You do what Muhammad says, or you die. Islam is a religion of fear. That 9-year-old Ishtar, whatever her name was, Aisha, whatever, supposedly was 9, but was actually like 21 or something.
Debatable.
She was first married to Muhammad because her family was murdered by him.
But what about Talmudic? What about Talmudic Judaism?
Let me finish.
Go on.
Speak. See, that's respect.
That's twice you've been bollocked there.
If you have your entire family murdered by a man that says, marry me, you're going to marry him. Or if you love him, you're going to lie in his bed, you're going to suck whatever he tells you to suck, cook whatever he tells you to cook, and do whatever he tells you to do, because you don't want to be in the same fate as your family. And that's what the rest of the followers of Muhammad and Islam do, because somebody above them is, in their mind, superior and will do that to them. So they comply. It is not a religion of peace. It is not a religion that says, oh, let's go and everybody love and you can do this and you can do that. No, it's not. It's written in the Quran. Any but you convert or kill. If they do not convert, you kill them.
Can I interject, Lopi? Well, I was just going to say, if you look at the Talmud, it's very similar. There's hardly any difference. They're both supremacist religions, Talmudic Judaism and the Quran. They're very similar. You'll notice that. And they both get their bell ends chopped, don't they? When they're born and all that. It's very similar. There's a lot of common...
Not when they're born. They do it when they're about... it depends on when you're... when you become a man. It's a coming of age thing. Because in Turkey, when I was there, you had 12 and 13-year-old boys. The whole neighborhood gets out and is basically a parade and a party that he's become a man and he goes and gets circumcised.
Well, I thought I mean, at the end of the day, they're very similar. They're both supremacist religions. They're both, neither one are about peace. I mean, people going on about the Muslims, I understand all that. I understand why they're getting behind Tommy and all that. But nobody's mentioning the bloody Jews. It's beyond me.
They're so similar. They're so similar that one might actually, there's a theory going around. The Ashkenazi Jews, the non-Semitic ones who created Islam.
Well, that is debatable. But the thing is,
this is an excuse again, just like ISIS US.
Would not surprise me in the least. Would not surprise me in the least.
The Illuminati were the ones that created all religion.
The Bavarian Illuminati.
No, we're talking about the ancient Illuminati, the ancient holders of the ancient wisdom that created Judaism itself. They're the ones who created it on purpose to go up against the pharaohs.
Was it David who said something about that political chat? Or was it Crypto? I can't remember. Or Carl? Who was it who said they had that discussion in the pub and everyone was cheering them?
Yeah, me. That was David.
Yeah, well, have you noticed? I mean, if you go around the UK, you do get that. You get a lot of people agreeing with what you're saying, but then when it comes down to the one single thing that's actually going to change everything, race, it's always racist. Every single group like, oh, you don't like Jews, you don't like Muslims, you don't like... You can't fight a problem.
Well, apparently, if you're, like I said, essentially, every time anybody's an anti-racist, it means they're anti-white. So, if you're a racist, you're white. Therefore, if you're white, you're racist. So you might as well just wear your banner proudly and say, yep, I'm a racist. I'd rather be that than one of these left-wing, silly anti-racists that, that are ashamed of the colour of their own skin.
Then you're capitulating to a label. Who wants to capitulate to a label?
Be ashamed to be white because I never got to choose what colour I was born. I'm not ashamed to be white.
You see, we need to understand that we, the white British patriots, have got a lot of enemies now. The Jews hate us. Our own establishment hates us. The Muslims hate us.
I wonder why.
Everybody freaking hates us.
I didn't know I wasn't white until I was about 6. I thought I was just.
How did you find out?
I didn't even know
colours.
I grew up. My family is white. I was adopted, so race was never an issue. I just, I had dark hair. I tanned beautifully.
Colour wasn't an issue, and colour wasn't an issue. So you indoctrinated with until you actually knew the difference between colour.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
kids,
growing up. I went to school that the kids saw me and my mum together, and they told me that it wasn't my mum.
See, that's where kids are smarter than adults, isn't it? Because kids don't see colour. When they look at another child...
You're an idiot. See, that goes exactly to what I was saying. You don't listen. What I was saying was... Shut up. Fuck's sake.
You keep breaking up, Lopi. I can't hear.
I know what you're saying. I'm agreeing with you, Lopi. I know exactly what you're saying.
And it was the kids that pointed out that my mum wasn't my mum.
Ah, right. So it's a peer pressure thing, right?
Well, I see it from a totally different angle. I see it from a totally different angle. That the white kids on the playground and the black kids on the playground would rather play. The white kids would rather play with the white kids that look like them and act like them, and the black kids would rather play with the black kids that act like them and like them. That's what I see.
That only happens after a point, or doesn't it? Before that, there's no. Well, so they don't care. They don't play with the kids. They play with kids, and that's the way it should be. But until you get introduced into the division between colour, like I bet colourblind people have a better time than us, don't they?
Well, the thing is,
they don't see colours.
You don't know oneself. At that age, at a really young age, when colour does not matter, you don't know yourself. You're not truly self-aware.
Yeah.
I remember growing up, I hung out with kids, all different colours and all that. But the common denominator of the kids that I hung out with were the ones that I had things in common with. In my little girl squad, growing up, I was all of 6, 7 years old. There was a white girl named Angie. There was a Filipino girl named Angie. There was me, I thought I was white, but I wasn't. I was Taiwanese, Aboriginal Indian. We had a little black girl. Her name was Sarah or something. I can't remember her name. But that was our squad. It was the United Colors of Benetton. but our colors did not define us. We had a skinny white Angie and Angie that was Filipino. I used to call it the Filipino Angie, Fat Angie. Bigger than the other one.
I bet you all called the black girl Sambo. Hey, Sambo.
Colour didn't define who you were.
I did.
It's like that self-aware argument that you just use then. Most people on the planet are. That's otherwise you'll be in this mess.
I see characteristics, you know, and that's something that I grew up with. Being military, you don't always hang out with your race, your people that you're, I'd say, white group of people or a black group of people. You're mixed in there like a ingredients in a cake. You're mixed no matter what. And you're all family because you're all military. And that's the way I was raised.
But what
differentiated
you know what's funny? You know what's funny? In my school in the 90s, colour wasn't even a thing. We didn't even separate people by black, white, Asian. We didn't even think it.
An issue. It was more like, oh, you've got green eyes. That's what we noticed. We didn't notice somebody's colour or how kinky their hair was or how big their lips were. We noticed stupid shit like you got flecks on your eyes or you got big feet or, you know, that's how we defined each other. That's how we would know who's who. You know, it wasn't, oh, there's Chinky Lopi or there's White David, you know.
Yeah, so it was characteristics as opposed to colour.
You see,
which is what I was saying before.
What I see is indoctrination and education only exacerbate the situation. I'll repeat that because there was a bit of a break-up. It's indoctrination and education that exacerbate the situation.
That's good.
Because growing up, we always used to call each other.
It's right. We've been told about this. You know,
there's an Irish person. I was just going to say, as we were growing up, if there's an Irish person, you call him Mick or Paddy, right? Everybody called him Mick or Paddy. If it is a black person, you call him Sambo. And if you were, I don't know, if you were Asian or whatever, you'd probably get called a Paki or whatever. But, I mean, nobody worried about it. Nobody give a shit. Everybody just called, I mean, they called us honky or chalky white. Yeah, man, shut up, chalky white. You know what I mean? You can't call me Sambo without me calling you chalky white, man. This is what we used to say to each other. We used to, you know, but we used to say it for a laugh. We never took it seriously. You know.
Don't you remember that TV episode? Do you remember that TV show, Sliders, where the black guy used to call Quinn? No, that's racist, isn't it? Cue ball. It's a white. The white ball, but nobody thought about it. Yeah, cue ball, exactly.
Cue ball, was he? What, the black bloke in Sliders? I remember the series Sliders.
No, the black bloke wasn't called, the black bloke called Quinn, cue ball, because he was white when he was the only white guy. And, well, no, there wasn't actually. There's the professor as well, but he called cue ball. Quinn was called cue ball for a black guy. So that was seen as racist, but it wasn't then.
I thought Quinn was the white guy.
You see, it's evolved.
But the black guy is Rembrandt. Rembrandt was black guy. Called Quinn. Cue ball.
Racism has evolved into a tool. It's evolved into a tool to promote identity politics. And a lot of politicians and political parties nowadays, especially the Democrat Party in America, are basing their whole platform on identity politics. And that's it.
What about the film? What about the film from the 80s? When he said, "You keep out of this, you black bastard," but he wasn't black. He was Paki, wasn't he? Remember that?
Hang on, was that on Love Thy Neighbour or something like that?
No, it was about two girls who were in school, and there's a guy who's always trying to get off with them, but he's in his 40s or something.
Oh,
it's
right.
Not paedophilia.
So
that film Rita, Sue, and Bob too, wasn't it?
That's what I said 3 times, but maybe I didn't.
You do break up quite a bit, D.
And the other guy, go on.
You do break up quite a bit when you're speaking.
everybody's breaking up a bit. I think it's making it a bit difficult.
Yeah, it's bad signal today, and it's yeah, Rita Seelbog, the guy who called him a bastard was a drunk white guy who not had a job. But that wasn't racist then, was it? No one, people just laughed.
Yeah, it's just the norm. It was just the norm. Everybody just talked like that. All this racist.
That's a huge issue.
Is the ADL that started all this off, the Anti-Defamation League. They're responsible for all these terms, racism and anti-Semitism and all this crap.
Well,
they're behind it all.
And the government flooding our country with immigrants didn't really... Well, threw oil on a fire, really, didn't it?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we never had any problem. We're not a racist nation anyway, because, I mean, look at it this way. We haven't got a problem with all these other different, like Sikhs. They've lived here happily for years. And, you know, the Indians, we haven't got a problem with them. We get a good curry off them.
Well, we as the British went and spread our culture around the world. That's what we did. We went to these places and we civilized a lot of these places and we brought them law and order. And well, a lot of them were quite thankful for it. And yes, they did come to our nation and they wanted to be British. That's the key thing with all this. The immigrants that came quite some time ago wanted to be British.
Well,
nowadays, the immigrants that come here don't want to be British, don't want to show respect for Britain. Crash even got a Channel 4 freaking program with that person on it, freaking trying to defamate Nelson and Churchill, trying to say, oh well, they were evil people and we need to take their statues down, which is freaking ridiculous.
You know what it is, don't you? The old generation ones that came here, they came here to integrate because they loved our culture and they had a good way of life and everything. But the ones that are coming here now, they just want the money. They just want the freebies, the handout. That's all that is. It's economic migrants, mate. Well, economic migrants and rapists.
Well,
and fighting age rapists that have come here for the sake of their religion to breed us out of existence because they've been deliberately handpicked to do that.
Look at the doctrine of the Islamic faith. It says, go forth, go infiltrate, go spread, go get into positions of power, subvert and take over.
Well, I mean, you know, even us, according to our Bible, we were told to go forth and multiply, weren't we?
As
all this
as human beings, loving thy neighbour, not killing thy neighbour.
Love thy neighbour like thyself. I fancy her too. I'm rushing round for a quickie.
No, adultery is against the 10 Commandments. And
yeah, there's another one. Another man's wife.
Anyways,
all these bloody commandments, nobody follows them these days. I mean, even the British don't even care about evidence anymore.
No, you look at the state.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing. New World Order. You can't have culture in New World Order, can you? Because they're all the same.
They want homogeny.
I'll tell you how bad it is now. Right, we got no gollywog on the Robinson's jam pot on the back because you're racist if you've got a gollywog on the back of your jam pot. You can't even have a black refuse bag to put out with your wheelie bin because if it's black, that's racist. You can't have a black refuse bag.
Yes, is that why they give grey ones now?
Is that the colour of the new ones? Is it? I don't know. I just got a sort of dark grey wheelie bin, but I'll take it.
They call it a grey bin. They don't call it a black bin.
Yeah.
Even though it looks black.
Yeah.
They call it grey. It's crazy, isn't it? And also, in Canada, I think they've just taken all the books out.
You can't have Easter eggs now either because that's offensive to them, and you can't wave the English flag because that's offensive. They can wave their flag of war in a march walking down the road with all their words in blooming, whatever their language is. But you can't even have the St. George flag. because it's not defend them.
Have you noticed what they're trying to do? They're trying to separate every race and every single race to make the Muslim race, who are all sticking together, stronger.
Yep. It's divided.
So, well, you say fight with me. No, you can't fight with me. You're a black guy.
Mm.
It's going to be like that.
Yep.
Crazy,
Which you're referring to.
It's the point where the whites hang out.
It's actually illegal in its own country. We allow it to be flagged in this country.
Oh, the black flag of ISIS.
With the one you're referring to.
Ah, right, yeah, that's their flag of war, isn't it?
It's got the gun on it, and it's actually allowed to be in parades in our country when they're having their marches, and it's barred and banned in their own country. They'll be arrested and imprisoned.
And yet our flag we can't wave in our own country.
And that's what you think, but if you turn the media off, you wouldn't know anyway.
It's the definition of madness.
It's obvious what's happening. It's obvious Britain isn't over by the people. It's not. I mean, we can't say it's all. Can we?
We've been sold out by our political class. Our political class has sold the British working man down the river and has done for the past 40, 50 years.
We'll be a minority in our own country by no later than
no, we won't.
60.
No, we won't.
So,
the revolution's coming, guys.
So,
the revolution's coming. It's a matter. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. Now we're sick of it, and it's going to hit the fan.
We better bloody hurry up then, because we're on the way out of existence at this rate. By 2060,
no, we're not.
We'll be a minority in our own country at this rate.
No, we won't.
That's only another, 42 years? 42 years. And we'll be a minority. Well, we're already a minority. A lot of cities. We're never a minority in London and places
we've
like
probably got one generation left, probably. One generation to go.
Yeah, I mean, London, Birmingham, Bradford, they're all the minorities in all those places.
This is a crossover, though, and it's like we had the Roman Empire, British Empire, now we'll have the Israeli.
Yeah. I'm going to start calling you Wolfie from now on. All right. And why?
No, you're totally breaking up, Lopi. We can't understand or hear anything.
Keep breaking up.
Well, she's talking from America, so it has got a fair distance to travel.
They're no longer calling Europe. They're calling it Eurabia.
Yep.
It's funny that because in 1984 it was called Eurasia.
Yes, it was Eurasia.
Now it's Eurabia.
And Britain was Airstrip 1. Airstrip 1. I see it coming.
Is that what they're calling it?
That's what they call Britain in 1984. Britain was Airstrip 1. Yeah.
No, I don't know. That's interesting.
So
maybe we're just going to be like the Hunger Games.
It's kind of what they want. It is kind of what they want. But what scares me most? Because
the question is,
how did they get?
Are we going to allow it?
No, how did they get to the society that has the Hunger Games? The first revolution. The first revolution failed, and that's what installed the New World Order that made the Hunger Games. I think.
Are we talking about the film now? Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's kind of a crossover between the two. Because
the French Revolution. Revolution, people thought they were actually fighting for freedom, when in actual fact, it's because the privateer people wanted to take out the royals.
Yeah, it was the Rothschilds.
Control government themselves.
It was the Rothschilds.
Exactly. Yeah.
Same with the Communist Revolution. It was the Rothschilds. Same with everything. But
you
see,
for freedom.
You see, that's what I see happening if we lose this revolution. This is a revolution we cannot lose, and we could really do with the backing of the United States in this revolution.
Yeah, we've got a problem. There's two problems really. The first one is this this New World Order needs to remove all governments, doesn't it?
Yep.
Otherwise, it won't be a New World Order. It'll just be a separated state system with government in each, talking to a bureaucracy. So they want to get rid of governments. And at the same time, we want to get rid of governments to change them.
Yeah.
Don't we want to change the governments? So it's kind of, we're all working
Well, they've
They're actually doing their work for them.
They've set it up this way. They've set it up this way completely. The capitalist.
How can we win this question? How can we win?
The truth. The truth. If we can expose the truth enough and we can show them up for who they are, they will not be able to run. They will not be able to hide. No one will give them sanctuary. And yeah, they will be eradicated.
We need to bring, I think, because these people, they do it anyway. Because it's like the banks, they steal from other customers. They steal from the customers because the fine that they get is 1/10 of what they steal.
Yeah.
And with those odds, you do it. I do it. 1/10. So 90 pence in every pound is yours, and you get charged 10 pence.
No.
So how's that? That's not a punishment fit a crime, is it?
I know. It's a disgusting system that's been set up by them, for them. Their laws, their rules, they're all there in place to protect them, to give them the advantage. They don't put laws and things in place that's going to hurt them or sully them or make life more difficult for them. They only do things in their favour. And they're the ones that control the rule book.
And what they've done is they've created a system that we all rely on.
Yeah.
We can't think of a way without it.
Well, that's it.
And they control the water, they control the food. Is it 3/4 of the food now? Two, I think it's a half. Monsanto own half of the food in the world. And Nestle owns nearly all the water.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing.
And Nestle, the CEO...
That's it.
And Nestle, the CEO, doesn't believe water is a basic human right.
What to do is fight. What we need to do is...
What we need is, step 1, dissolve Parliament. Get rid of Parliament. Step 2, reinstate the Constitution. Step 3, reinstate common law. Step 4, take down the Bank of England. Clear our national debt and take down the Bank of England. Step 5, create a new monetary system. Create an actually backed currency that's been backed by metal of some sort.
Something that's backed by a commodity.
Yeah, by a commodity rather than petrol. Rather than fucking petrol.
We don't need any of it. We don't need money. We don't need any form of money.
Yes, we do. You can't trade goats for oxys, you freaking moose.
Without money, you've got a productivity.
You haven't got a commodity. You need a basic standard trading commodity. It has to be. You can't trade ducks for gooses and shit like that. You have to trade something for something else. A pound note for a product.
No, make everything free, man. Just make it free. Just be each other's abundant.
Yeah.
What?
And one of the most common human traits is laziness. Why do you think people are so well drawn to the left?
You need an incentive. You need an incentive to work.
Yes.
And if we don't have any money, people will have the incentive. Nothing will get done.
But we've got money now. Have we got an incentive to work? No. What if you're not the same?
But the point of money is not financial gain or wealth. It's the controls, because the money always goes back to the same place and then goes out again, comes back, goes out, comes back.
So you might as well have no money where it goes.
It's a standardized commodity. Money should be and always should be a standardized commodity that is the same for everyone.
Money is not natural. It's an artificial construct like time. It doesn't exist in nature. Anarchy is the natural state for human beings. That means nothing to control us. No money.
We've transcended just on that. We've transcended human nature. We're above that now. We've created society, and society.
The problem with anarchy is there's a lot of people out there who don't respect the system in the first place. They don't.
Anarchists don't. That's what anarchists are against the state or any form of system. That's the point.
Yeah, but are they not thinking ahead to what would happen without that system?
No, they never do.
People. I mean,
they never think that someone's got a bigger stick than me and is going to fucking come and take control. That's
You'll
it.
be abused. Anarchy will be abused.
Communities
Anarchy.
that live alongside each other. Anybody, gets any problems, if it's all the community members just come together and deal with it. No big deal.
So, like a neighbourhood watch scheme, kind of?
No,
like some form of government? Wouldn't that be classed as some form of government? The community getting together?
No. It's not central administration. It's just communities. I mean, it's like they do in places.
No.
If you get a rapist, all the women go after him and whip him and things like that. It's just
a good example.
Bit of Sharia there.
An example of anarchy is Somalia. Go to Somalia. It's got no government. It's always being constantly attacked by the US and all other places because they want to bring in banking and taxation. But the place isn't safe to live in.
No.
I say this about a lot of failed states, but actually, some of the best places in the world, you have to look at it from the point of not the point of.
To be honest,
if you look at it, there's nothing there.
To be honest with you,
there's nothing. No one's.
Yeah, but you don't want to look at it from a point of wealth. You want to look at it from the point of freedom. If you want freedom.
Anarchy.
Look at it on the point of safety.
Anarchy can only work on a tiny desert island. That's it. Tiny desert island, yes, you can have some anarchy. But as soon as you get 100,000 people...
It has to be managed. It has to be managed.
You can't have been the downfall from the beginning. You've already got chaos with the state. You've already got complete chaos. And you've got more murderers. You're going on about security. Look how many people how many people do the people murder and how many people do the state murder. The state murders far more people than the people themselves. So when you think about it, your argument is bit back to front. You're better off with no government, no banking system, none of this rubbish that doesn't matter.
I reckon if that would still, I mean, even the Aztecs use they use gold.
Yeah.
Who?
Aztecs.
The Aztecs use gold.
The Greeks, the ancient Greeks, the ancient Romans, every ancient civilization created civilization. Civilization is the way forward, not fucking anarchy, mate. Sorry, but the anarchy frigging it's nuts. It's pathetic. It's a stupid argument.
I didn't hear what you said because it's breaking up. What did you say is the way forward?
I said that the ancient Greeks, the ancient Romans, the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Chinese, the ancient Incans, the ancient, even the ancient frigging Native Americans, the ancient Brits.
All use the currency.
All
use the currency, don't they?
All used currency. All used a governmental system. All had structure and society.
And look how advanced we are. Look how far we've come. We've got all this technology.
Yeah, then you go back to ancient frigging Africa. Then you go back to ancient Africa when they were raping each other and killing each other.
We have come quite far, actually. I mean, look, would you be living in a house? Yeah,
I'll tell you what, if you look at natives that live in straw huts in the middle of the blooming Amazon.
Go and live that way then, Jeff. Go and live that way then, you know.
Are they less civilized than us? I don't know, because they don't destroy their own environment. They don't fuck each other over for a buck.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, because they've got no money and what have you.
Yes, they do. They go and kill each other. They have tribes. They have tribes that will run around, and if they see another tribe member or another opposite tribe over there, they'll go and kill them and eat them, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, at least, they're not destroying the environment, which is what we're doing.
I think you might have. I think we're in a situation where it would never work now.
Anarchy.
Too reliant.
Anarchy might work if 7 billion people were killed and there was only 500,000 people left upon the planet. Anarchy might work, but any other way.
How would cars work on an?
You're talking about the New World Order, then, huh?
Well, it's the only way. It's the only way anarchy would work if the majority of the population on the planet was wiped out.
See, sometimes I investigate a lot of stuff, and it makes sense. We've got the system. Obviously, it's going to be corruption because we gave people a lot of power.
You know,
we did people. We took advantage. We didn't look. That was our problem. We didn't look what people were doing.
I see.
We gave them the power. We expected them to use it properly.
See, the problem with government is that right from its foundation, it's immoral.
Well,
so
Jeff,
you're creating the foundation of society built on immorality. From the word go, it makes no sense.
I see that your hatred of government has literally come from the corruption of government and the fact that it has gotten so fat, so bloated, so disgustingly corrupt. Now we have to get rid of it. Yes, I understand that.
From the very beginning, mate. That's the point, because the whole precept behind government is that they tax you.
No, it ain't.
Right? And then they use that redistribution of wealth thing as they're part of their social contract that they call socialism or whatever.
Yeah, socialism. I freaking hate socialism.
But the whole point is it's that. There is no such thing as taxation. It's
from the government. Or was it a product of the bankers?
Yeah, the government didn't come up with taxation. Do you think
it's the banks?
Yeah.
Originally, it was the monarchs that did it. You had kings that taxed them, and churches, even churches did with tithes.
That's the class system, isn't it?
Well,
there's always going to be a class system.
Yeah, there's always equality
even if
is impossible. You cannot have equality. It doesn't work. There's always going to be someone with a bigger, better stick than you. You can't. Equality doesn't happen.
That's why diversity isn't working, because you can't have equality.
Yeah. Not
everyone thinks the same.
Yeah. Why bother having government or anything like that, or any, the
government,
thing is it just
the government may be a lot of things, but it does bring order. You got to admit that it does bring order.
And once order is established,
and still be alive.
And once order is established, culture, art, clear thinking, science can thrive and flourish. That's what order brings us. Order and stability.
Gone wrong.
There's one thing that has happened under and corruption, even in corruption. Look at the place. Things are
one at a time.
It's happened, even though it's corrupt.
What is sorry?
A lot of stuff has happened, even though the government is corrupt. They get things done. They pay people to, they keep people at work. They get people to build stuff. None of that would happen under anarchy, would it? You wouldn't build it and you say, you do it yourself. And I don't know how to do it, but you do. Well, what do you want to give me instead? It's going to be bartering, isn't it? And what happens when we've got bartering? It's too complicated.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, the way I look at it,
loaf of bread for building the house
is that if you've got no governments or anything like that, all you've got to do is get rid of territorial. It's all tacked down to territorialism, because you haven't got the ability to look after yourself if you can't use the land. Land ownership is the problem, in a way, in effect.
No.
You need access. Yeah, you do. You need access to the land. You need unfettered access to use the land to build a home, to grow food. Without that, you've got nothing.
Yeah.
Of course you're going to be.
So you own the land. The person individually owns the land.
On the fact that you can't use the land to get your resources or to build your home.
But you yourself, by yourself, can't build your own home. You by yourself cannot farm your own land. You cannot do this all by yourself.
Build your own home by yourself. Who says you can't build your own home by yourself?
You build a mud hut, mate. What do you freaking do?
You're back to the caveman era.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we would have to devolve.
Jeff, it's a daft argument, mate. It's a daft argument that has no substance backing it whatsoever. You can't argue for anarchy. It can't happen. Can't work. Governance has to be in place.
It's called self-responsibility, mate. It's called self-responsibility. If you look on the internet, you can learn how to do anything on the bloody internet.
Yeah, but who's going to provide you with that internet, you moose?
You wouldn't have a computer. You wouldn't be able to. Anarchy wouldn't build anything. You do it all yourself. How are you going to build a computer and then build an internet? You know, I'm going to get the cables and the.
You can build any of that. You can build any of that. You can work together. Don't mean to say you don't have to work with other members of the community to achieve.
You could send a carrier, but you could send a carrier pigeon.
You don't need a government to build roads. You can do it between you. You don't need to follow anybody. You see, it's so brainwashed and so controlled.
This might have been true. This might have been true 2,000 years ago. Now people are too dependent on a system, and it's even though it's corrupt, it works.
We've got an infrastructure. Now we've got the things we need. Now we've got machinery and labour-saving devices. Now we've got time for anarchy.
But that'll stop then.
We couldn't have done it in the past, but we can.
We'll just stagnate in one single evolution. Stagnate and not make anything else.
We need free market capitalism. That's it. Free market capitalism. There's proper free market, proper capitalism, where a man gets a fucking decent day's pay.
Still the incentive. You still got the incentive. That's the point.
Yeah.
People need incentives to do stuff.
Yeah. Free market capital.
There's no incentive in anarchy.
Why do you have to have an incentive? You don't have
Why?
to. Well, I think you can just, all you could do, you could go out, make a mud hut, live in it if you're happy, or you could go out and forage for your food. You can crack in a hole in the ground. You know,
I can see.
You can collect.
Looking back at the
you can collect rainwater from the air. You'd be.
I know what you're saying, but what we've got now.
Anarchy is the natural way of life on planet
No,
Earth.
it's not.
There are millions of species of animals. They haven't got governments. Millions of species.
They're
of
animals. They're animals. They're barely self-fucking aware.
How long will it take to get
right?
Back to that kind of
right. This is a stagnating conversation, mate. Stagnating.
How long will it take to get back to that level of living? We're in mud huts. That'll take a lot of work just to get back there.
I'm not saying you have to. I mean, I can lay bricks. It's not any dipshit can lay bricks. You know, if I can lay bricks, you can.
No, they can't.
Build a house with bricks. You don't have to build.
No, you can't.
What I'm saying is,
trust me, bricklaying's pretty freaking difficult.
Eh?
Trust me, bricklaying's pretty freaking difficult.
Bloody easy. Just butter it, bang it on there, just level it up. Building a house is like baking a cake.
Where'd you get the cement from?
Well, I mean, you know,
where'd you get the bricks from? Where'd you get the bricks from?
You can make bricks out of shit.
Right.
Seriously, you can make bricks out of crap. You can make cement. I don't know how
stagnant conversation. Completely stagnant conversation. I'm drawing a veto here. No more conversations about chuffing anarchy.
I don't know.
Right?
Why has everybody got such a big thing against anarchy?
I'm calling. I'll mute you.
No, hold on a sec, David. Hold on. I'm just saying. I don't. You stop.
Sorry, what? You're breaking up, mate.
Yeah.
Can you answer that? Or why do you want to go backwards? Because it was better then. I agree. In the 90s and 80s, and it was a lot better.
Well, we were still blind back then. We were still blind.
We'd have gone backwards, weren't we, if we're living in mud huts and no internet and no electricity to power us?
No. You can organise yourself as communities to achieve what you want to achieve. What I'm saying is you don't need a middleman to do it. All government is the middleman. He's just bloke who comes along and takes a great big chunk of everything you've produced. You just don't see it. They just take a great big chunk. They don't do anything. What do they produce that you don't? You produce it anyway.
They pick your bin.
Eh?
To clean the roads when, sometimes they control the traffic lights. You know what? It's a lot.
Everything can be done. Everything.
I believe.
Anyway,
I believe in the Gadsden snake. The Gadsden snake. Government is all right as long as it doesn't freaking tread on me. As long as it doesn't interfere with my day-to-day life, I'm all right with it. As long as it's not taking huge amounts of tax to pay some freaking socialist cunt.
Governments.
You're all
and I'm quite happy.
But
I'm quite happy for a government.
The government is there. No, go on, Dave. You can.
I'm quite happy for a government to have law and enforce it. As long as I'm not causing loss, harm, or injury to others, then the government can't freaking come and get me. And the thing is,
be careful what you report, because you just might get it.
Good. I'll fucking make it happen. I'm not wishing. I'm getting out there. I'm making it happen.
Do you support Antifa, Crypto? What's your name? Sorry, is it?
It's me, Predator Jeff.
Let's go.
What were you saying?
But I said, do you support Antifa? Because that's supposed to be anarchist, isn't it?
No, that's anti-fascist. There's a difference, and they're fascist. That's a big difference from anarchists. No, I'm on about true anarchy. True anarchy is not chaos. It just means without a ruler. You just cut the middleman out. That's all it is. You still do everything
the only modern sort of example of anarchy is the Wild Wild West. And look how that worked out. A lot of people got killed.
And even that had a rule of law.
Yeah, so a somewhat rule of law by a sheriff, you know.
Well, look how
exactly. Yeah, so it had some kind of
some kind of governance.
And the people who didn't agree with that order were the ones who went around shooting. People.
And because you're always going to get bad guys. You're always going to get bad guys. Okay, it's a natural part of human psyche. There's always bad people out there want to come and take your stuff.
Yeah, but all government have got one thing in common, and that is the power to rule, right? They don't lead, they rule. Let's face it. They always have done. You may not think they have, but they always have done. And there's one problem with power. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And so it's always going to end up corrupted.
No
matter what.
No.
Now, the only other way you can do things where you can, here's a different idea now. Forget anarchy, all right? Forget government. What you need really is a trustless society. Trustless as in not without trust, but without the need for trust. I.e., all you need is a blockchain currency to organize your money for your trading. That's the way to do it. If you've got a blockchain currency that you've all got access to, you can trade happily amongst yourselves without having the need to barter.
No.
And you've got no middleman. You've got nobody governing society, trying to control this. And
who controls the blockchain? Who controls the mines? Who controls the mining facilities for the blockchain currency?
No. All of you together, a community.
It's the differences.
Governance.
It can't be perfect legend. That's the only thing about it.
Communities working together can produce anything they want. It has been.
Guess what? Communities working together. A community working with slaves created the pyramids. Because that's exactly what sort of thing would happen.
You reckon slaves built the pyramids?
Enough slaves of enough time. You can put plenty of blocks together.
You couldn't get the slaves nowadays with the equipment and technology we've got nowadays to build the pyramids. I don't know how they were built, but it certainly went by just slave labour with a bunch of slaves that only had bits of copper as tools.
It's probably aliens. Aliens with
God knows, mate. I don't know. I'm not even going to get into that conversation. But it's been fun chatting, guys. Anyway, I'm off. Have a think about it. Think about what society produces, and think about actually who it produces it. Yeah.
Look,
and how you can do that without the need for government.
You've taken this anti-government stance because government nowadays has got far too fat, far too bloated, far too corrupt, and has to be dealt with. However, some governance is necessary and needed for a free society. It just works. So have a think about that. Have a think about the Gadsden snake. Have a think about government not getting involved, not stepping on you, and not taking too much tax. Yes, little bits of tax
Debate
to
anyway, guys.
little bits of tax to keep the roads,
Cheers,
to
guys.
keep infrastructure in place, and that is it.
See tomorrow.
Evening, Volt. Catch you later.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Bye bye. Oh, why is it always descent to anarchy with Predator Jeff?
It's always anarchy, doesn't it?
Always.
It's almost like you said, right? We've got everything now. Let's just fuck government off and just try and continue on our own.
Yeah, but like
it's not going to work.
Mm.
It's not going to work, is it? Well, to be real, I mean, there. But when it comes to freedom of right, that's what we should be defending.
The freedom.
We've got the rights. Yeah, it's just like the Romans when they started taking the rights away from the people, and then it's ended up in going to shit. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, how did Rome collapse? Brick by brick by brick.
To rights, and it was a great place to live, and then all of a sudden they started reeling in those rights and turning them to make them feel like the slaves, because they didn't feel like slaves, even though they were. But by taking each right in one by one and then telling them this is wrong, then they started feeling like slaves.
Yeah,
and that's where we're going.
That's where we're heading. Yeah,
because we had all these rights, and now we haven't got the right to be innocent until proven guilty now.
And
we haven't got the right to say no.
The problem is the masses don't see their rights being taken away until it's too late. Until
because they're too busy trying to paper money.
Yeah, if they actually, they'll only ever notice that their rights are gone when they're gone. They don't know what they've got till they've gone. And
what they should do is take a week off and just do a bit of research, and after they might not be so eager to go to work after it, but at least they'll know the truth.
Well, I think we should all. I think the whole freaking nation should take a week off in strike, in protest to get rid of our government.
I agree. Let's shut down the whole country.
Yeah.
Let's just have a no work week.
It's the only way to grab them by the short and curlies. Only way.
Yeah, because it's all about money with them. I mean, you know what we should do? The reason why they got a way for corporations to actually give politicians money to pass laws. To do is remove the non-governmental organisations that pose as being part of the party, like what's the one? LFI and CFI, Conservative Labour Friends of Israel.
Yep.
They actually, when you go to
lobbyists,
one of those rallies, they've got stands saying that they're part of Labour.
We have to get rid of the lobbyists. We have to get rid of lobbying. Money and politics should not go together. The politician should earn. The politician should earn £75,000 a year. That's a good enough wage. And if they earn anything more than that, sacked, gone, no more.
The problem we have is the banks. The government don't run anything.
No, it's the banks. That's why step 3.
Banks are changed about what that's the government control.
Yeah, that's why step 3 was to get back the Bank of England. We need to get the Bank of England back.
The Bank of England has been owned by the Rothschilds. From the beginning, wasn't it?
1885, I think. Something along those lines.
Every central bank is owned by the Rothschilds, so every central bank controls. And then you use the politicians because
I care.
They're giving loads of money. They're going to do something.
I care not who makes the country's laws, as long as I print their money. The Rothschild quote.
That's what he said during the Napoleonic War when he lost. And then he sent that secret message to Britain saying that France won, and then everyone sold the stocks and he bought them up.
Yep, gobbled them all up and bought the country.
That's how he got rich, right?
Well, no, they were really rich before then anyway. The Bavarian Red Shield Bank.
Well, yeah, he bought all the gold, but then he panics because the French had won. He bought all the gold from Napoleon, didn't he? And but then in them days, if he had the internet in them days, his plan would have worked. Because he said that the French won, Napoleon won, and then the British started selling the stocks. If we had the internet, instead of find out in seconds.
However, they now control the stock markets. They showed this. They showed this when they ditched 666 points on the New York Stock Exchange. They showed that the elites run
666.
Yeah, the elites run and own the stock exchanges. Why do you think the Italian stock markets took a dive as soon as the populist parties wanted to get a new finance minister and a new sort of government in Italy?
That's the problem, because it's like when Brexit came out, when they didn't actually announce the result, but it came in at midnight, didn't it? All the exit polls said that Leave was going to win, and all of a sudden, boom, the pound goes right down.
Yep,
and that's because George Soros lost about £1 billion pounds.
Yep, all the stock.
Yeah, so they control it. They're the ones who got hold. They sell it, because we're only mere people. We don't deal in the stock market, do we?
No.
So, but they control the price. They can do anything they want. They can sell a massive load of stocks to make it look like something's going on, something bad.
Yeah. But the stock market was sold to the working man as a way to be involved and to own some of the business, when it wasn't. It was a freaking a complete and utter scam. Scam on the working man.
Did I hear right that Trump's actually asked for the Federal Reserve to be audited?
It's in his part of the plan.
Sure heard that. Sure heard it for the first time in
ever. Ever.
What is the Federal Reserve? It was incorporated in 14, wasn't it? Or 13?
13, yeah. They got together and they created that monster.
And then they had the war 8 months later.
I wonder why.
Yeah, very suspicious. And then they had the Second World War. No world wars before.
Oh, we all know that it's the deep state and the Illuminati that have created every single war.
We all know it, but the problem is, it's the realization. If enough people realize they've got control of a lot of things that could destroy the economy.
That's the only thing that the only thing that they're afraid of is people finding out, because they will not have anywhere to run or anywhere to hide once the people find out who they are, what they've done, and what they are responsible for.
Did you watch Tommy? Sorry? Aside from the fact that it was on a Saturday and the Tories aren't there, we were going to number 10 Downing Street, weren't it, to protest?
Yep.
And that's just one woman, one puppet woman, who was covered by a black policeman when he should have actually been protesting at number 10 Duke Street, which is the Freemasons Central.
The Freemasons Lodge, yes, because they are the true power. They do run the Conservative Party. Fact.
Exactly. So Downing Street was used. There was no point. And when that guy tried,
it's not. There's no point. It's not. There's no point. They're just protesting in the wrong place. Protest is good. We need to get more people aware of this and more people on side. And a protest gathers people together and breaks this sort of social anxiety of, oh, well, I'm only by myself. When you
I agree that protest is good, but if you notice, the only thing that's actually had organisation in the last 6 months is the Tommy Robinson thing. That's what always comes across as strange to me.
Well,
he's fighting Muslims when the real problem is the government, because the government's the ones who actually let the people first place.
Yeah, he's started to lean a bit more towards that now, especially going with the court cases and things like that, and saying that the judiciary's fucking corrupt. And I believe he's starting to work his way up to saying the whole freaking government and the whole stack of shit's fucking corrupt.
So that's good, but right now he's doing exactly what the Pike plans told him to do, just to use Islam.
The thing is,
Islam as a tool.
Islam is, to a lot of people, the problem in your face. It's there, it's in your face, it's what you see every freaking day, is them having that, is that problem. And it's a very emotional problem as well when you consider it being rape gangs. These goddamn disgusting fucking rape gangs that need to be hung, drawn and quartered, a lot of them. But
I agree. I agree with all that, but I'm just saying
it's an emotional point.
That's not as it is, is it?
you know, it's an emotional point. People have to feel. A lot of people are led by their emotions and need to feel an emotional point. Whereas if you say, "Oh, it's the fucking banks that are getting you," you're like, "Oh well." You don't really have that emotion and that drive behind you to get up and get out there and start fighting back. It's a good.
The problem I see is they're attacking a problem and not the products of a problem. Sorry, the products of the problem, not the problem itself.
Symptoms. They're going after the symptoms of the cold rather than the virus itself. Yes. But what we're doing mainly with these protests, with these protests is we're actually getting there amongst the people and telling them, the people that are there, what the real problem is. You know, I go to these events and I'm there saying, look, these are the problems. The secret societies are the problems. Common Purpose, the Freemasons, the lobbyists, the fucking snakes in our government and the civil servants that are ruining and running this country are the problem. They're a symptom of the problem. They are the weapon and the tool of the problem. But we got to chop off the head of the beast rather than its freaking talons.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying it's like these flat earthers. You know, there's a massive movement of flat earth. And I keep saying, why? What are you going to prove? Well, I mean, yeah, you're going to prove that NASA were lying. Yeah, you're going to prove that.
What do you do? NASA's been a black hole for a freaking long time. That's it.
You should use that. You should use those resources to actually do, because if you uncover the corruption in societies and blah, then you can actually uncover NASA at the same time.
Yeah. If you take the head off the beast, everything else falls.
Exactly. So they should go after government as opposed to the problems of government.
It's not government. It's Illuminati. It's the secret societies.
Well, yeah, but I mean, to most people's eyes, it's complete government. So it's the problem. But yeah, it is the Illuminati. And it's the secret societies, as JFK said.
Yeah. It's the ones that control from the shadows.
People are hiding in conspiracy. I mean, flat earthers get loads of attention, and I don't see the point.
Because it's a fucking propaganda ploy. It was, in my opinion, it was to test how good their propaganda and their propagated shite could actually be. How many people could they convince that the Earth is flat? And they've convinced a fucking lot of people.
Exactly. Abilities get rich. Yeah, it's sad, though. It's sad to think that many people would put their lives into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
When there's a lot more corruption on Earth.
Yeah.
Now.
Why look into the flat Earth theory thing when you should really be looking into secret societies? You know, the people that are propagating this message.
You know what they could do? They could do a live stream if they wanted in a balloon or whatever, get the money, because they've got enough people doing it. Why don't they just donate to getting a rocket or something, firing it up, doing a live stream, and they'll come back, and then NASA will say, no, that was a fake video.
Yeah.
They'll just say something, aren't they?
Well, they've got to, you know,
it's just to me, it's just wasted resources, that's all. I don't care if the Earth's looking flat around. It's still gone to shit.
Yeah, it's ours. Yeah, and
I like Star Trek as well, so I'm not going to so Star Trek fan, I just like the idea.
And you see, a lot of people. You see, the most important resource is time and effort. And they're wasting so much time and effort.
People don't have either of that, do they? Well, yeah, loads.
Breaking up, pal. Breaking up, can't understand.
Sorry. Yes, because it's a bad signal. It's showing up bad signal. There we go. Right. Yeah, so they're just putting all the resources in place.
Well, that's what NASA's been doing a lot as well.
Exactly, yeah, but it seems like a waste of time. You know, imagine if all those people, all those flat earthers, actually worked with us to uncover corruption in democracy and whatnot. You know, you might actually get somewhere.
That's it.
It seems like a division. It seems like another division to people to suck people in.
It's one of those. It's problem focusing. Everybody seems to be focused on the same problem or on different problems. Oh well, I'm anti-fracking, so I'm focusing on anti-fracking, or I'm anti-Islam, so I'm focusing on Islam. I'm anti-immigration, so I'm focusing on this, and it's putting us all into little pigeonholes and little boxes, not looking at the grand shizzle at the top. That's actually
and all those things
causing
all those things could be easily resolved.
Yeah,
with a by God problem.
Yep.
Fracking would stop. Islam would be kicked out.
Yep.
You know, all those things would be sorted, but they don't. They all separate. It's more division, basically.
Yeah.
People dividing.
A lot of division.
That's why there's no organisation in conspiracy.
That's it. And a lot of us are free individual thinkers. That's what's got us on this path of questioning. So free individual thinkers very rarely agree with each other all the time on a lot of things. You know, we're always disagreeing with each other. We're always, no, you're wrong. And it takes up our time and our effort. And we're busy debating with each other rather than actually going and stopping the issue.
So much misinformation all over the place. It's hard to separate what's real and what isn't.
Well, why do you think the Illuminati are the keeper of secrets? They are the ones that control a lot of the information.
And what's the illumination that they actually God is a lot? No, there is a God, but it's called the Great Architect of the Universe, and the real power is inside yourself.
Your pineal.
That's the illumination.
Unlock your pineal. That's what they want. That's what they don't want people to know. I wish I knew how to do that, but yeah.
Really like it.
But
we might find out sooner or later.
Hey, well, if we get rid of
unless you want to get to the level, unless you want to go to the 33rd level and have to denounce Jesus
and quest for the light of Lucifer, yeah, really want to do that.
Yeah. Henry Kissinger did that, didn't he?
There's a lot of freaking politicians that have done that. Frick's sake, there's a lot of them.
That level, aren't they?
Yeah.
I wonder what level May's at.
Well, it's probably her husband.
Yeah, he's the one with the money. He's probably not a 33rd either.
Probably not.
I bet Rosenstein's quite high.
But there's the different clubs of it as well. So, yeah, the societies with secrets are such a freaking bane upon society. Yeah. They need to be completely and utterly cast out.
Go for a walk around London. It's everywhere.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing. The US Embassy's just been moved.
Go for a walk around Washington, DC.
Oh.
That's full of masonry.
Exactly. You got Lucifer's big dong.
Well, the spire.
The memorial thing. Spire. That's a big dong, isn't it? It's supposed to be devil's cock or something. People don't say that though.
Well, I thought that the spire was to represent that the Ark of the Covenant had been there.
Yeah, that's all. You tell you anything.
Yeah, well, who the fuck knows? That's the thing. We need to get these people. We need to get them on polygraphs, and we need to find out what they fucking know. It's that simple.
Just like in London, people, I don't understand why people wait a minute, this is a bit weird. Why are you bringing this arch, like the Arch of Baal? Why are you bringing it to London and it's based somewhere else? And it was the archway to the devil, and it's for child sacrifice. Why would you?
Oh, because they love it. That's what they do in their little clubs. That's what they do in their little secret clubs.
Yeah. No, it's not a nice arch. That. No, it's something.
Right.
You don't.
Anyways, we've gone over an hour and a half now. I think it's time to call it. So,
what's your normal time for it? An hour? Is it an hour and a half? Or
hour and a half, something like that. Depends.
Right.
Depends how pissed off and ranty I get.
Aye.
Right.